Hey guys, it's Melissa, and I'm in my bike helmet again because we're gonna have a little bike helmet talk with Miss. Anyways, so I just had two things that I really wanted to talk about really quickly. Okay, I'm gonna start with running and biking. So when I first started running, I used to run half marathons, and my goal was to run a marathon, but I had to stop due to medical reasons about 3 years ago, and then that turned into biking. So anyways, when I first started running, a few runner friends of mine had said that your first couple miles are the hardest. And I was like, you are crazy. I can't even run 1 mile. And I thought that was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever heard. And so, but I got to the place where I was like, I really, really do want to run like a 5K, or want to be amazing if someday I could run a half marathon. And so I realized that in order for me to actually do that, I had to listen to their advice, which is stick it out for the first few miles, and I might feel like I'm dying, and I might want to quit the whole way, and I might hate it. But if I put my mind frame on, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, versus I can't, eventually I would get through the first few miles, and I did. And my first few miles turned into, 5 miles and 7 miles and 10 miles, and then 13.1 miles. And had I been able to keep running, I would have ended up running 26.2 miles at some point. Well, anyways, so when I started biking, the same kind of thing. I knew that in the beginning, the first several miles could be the hardest. And but what I've learned from my running journey and have learned from my biking journey is that once you get through the first few miles of being hard, then you just kind of hit the sweet spot, and you literally feel like you could go forever. And sometimes those, first few miles happen quickly, and sometimes they take a lot longer. And so today, as I was biking, I got to like mile number 4, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do this today. I hate this. Why am I biking? I'm exhausted. I don't really know why. And I just was like, nope, I'm not gonna listen to how I feel, because I know that in any time I'm gonna just hit my rhythm and I'm gonna go. And that's exactly what happened. So it took me forever, it feels like, to go 4 miles, and then suddenly I went 17 or 18 miles. And the whole ride wasn't easy. There was dirt in the road in a lot of places, and I have to be careful with dirt because you could fall. There was a lot of wind. Like the first half of my ride was pretty windless, and then I turned and went the other way, and then I was biking into the wind the whole time, which is normal when you bike. And I realized how my end game goal is this summer I really want to bike 50 miles, and eventually I really want to do what is called a tour, 150 miles. And which means that I'm going to have, the only way I'm going to get there is if I keep training and I keep practicing and I keep biking. And some days I'm going to go out and I'm going to bike 17 miles in 1 hour. Today it took me 1 hour and 25 minutes to do that. And I don't know why I was so much slower today, but it didn't really matter, because today was not my end game. My end game is, eventually 150 miles. And I could even imagine, as I get older and have more freedom in my life, to bike across the country. Like, that would be amazing. But the only way that will ever happen is if I don't give up in the beginning when it's really hard, and I push through, and I don't give up when there's dirt in the road and slows me down. I don't give up when I hit wind, and the wind makes me feel like I'm going 20 seconds an hour. And would that be really fast? No, that's really slow. Yeah, right. Just crawling, basically, is what I'm saying. And I go. And if I get home and I'm like, man, that was a really, really slow ride, who cares? Because this is not my end game. My end game with my business is ambassador. And so who cares if I have months that are really slow? Who cares if I have months that I just fly through and a million things happen? Who cares if I have a year that is slow? Really, like, when you think about it, if my end game is not what happens today or this month, if my end game is long term, then why do I get hung up on what happens in the short term? So I just really want to encourage you, first of all, when you feel like you just want to quit, I can guarantee you're about to hit your stride, and you're about to hit some momentum, and you're about to fly for a little bit. And that won't last forever. You're going to hit slow times, and because this is business, and any kind of business you're in, I don't care what business you work for, you are going to have good times and you're going to have hard times. You're going to have slow times, you're going to have crazy times. And the point is to always be focused on the end game. So if right now your end game is only what happens this month, you're not going to make it very far, because because your thinking is too short-sighted. And I don't mean that to be hurtful. I just mean that is true. When I first started running, if my end game was to, you know, get through 2 runs ever, well, I would never ever have even made it to a mile, because it took me forever to run 1 mile. And but because my end game was going to run a half marathon, I just took it one day at a time. And some days were amazing, we're training, and some days were awful. The other thing I want to tell you is that, so when I'm riding today and I'm hitting wind and I'm hitting dirt and I'm hitting all of this whatever slowness, I know that based on my history, that this makes me a better rider. When I hit hard times, it will make me a better cyclist, because then when I am doing a 50-mile ride or a 150-mile ride, and I'm going, I mean, there's no way you can go that long and not hit rough terrain and wind and rain or whatever. And I know that I know how to go through it because I've been through it before. And so same with our business. When you go through hard times, that doesn't mean you're not supposed to be here. It's preparing you for the long journey. It's what will make you a better network marketer. It's what will make you a better business owner. It's what will make you a better leader. It's what will make you a better friend and coach, and all these different things, because when you endure the hard stuff in the short game, it is going to make you better in the long game. So I hope that's encouraging, and hope you have a great day.